Today, we're looking at one of the most baffling and heartbreaking cold cases out there, the disappearance of 9-year-old Asha Degree. And we're talking about it now because after 24 long years, a major breakthrough has just cracked this case wide open again. Everything really boils down to this one single question. A question that makes absolutely no sense. Why would a little girl who was scared of the dark just get up and walk out into a storm in the middle of the night? It's what's haunted her family and investigators for decades. So, to really understand how bizarre this is, let's first get to know who Asha was, and then we'll walk through the night she disappeared. By all accounts, Asha was a wonderful kid. She was bright, a little shy, but very responsible. But here's the thing you have to understand. Her family says she was so deeply afraid of the dark, she wouldn't even go to the bathroom by herself at night. And storms, they terrified her. This is the core contradiction of the case, and it's what makes what happened next so hard to process. Okay, so let's set the scene. It's Valentine's Eve, the year 2000. The whole family's in bed. Outside, there's a nasty winter storm rolling through North Carolina. Around 2:30 in the morning, her dad, Harold, gets up to check on the kids, and he sees both Asha and her brother sleeping in their beds. Everything's fine. But sometime between then and when her mom went to wake them up, Asha was gone. And right away, the scene was just confusing. There were no broken windows, no signs of a struggle, nothing like that. The front door was just unlocked. So the first terrifying question was she taken, or did she somehow leave on her own? Well, the very first clues that came in were not at all what anyone was expecting. They came from the middle of that dark, rain-soaked highway right near their house. So get this, a couple of truck drivers who are out there battling the storm themselves start calling the police with these really shocking reports. They'd seen a little girl dressed all in white just walking along the side of Highway 18. One driver was so worried that he actually turned his entire rig around to go check on her. But as he got closer, she got spooked and ran off the road, disappearing into the woods. And just like that, the entire investigation pivoted. The evidence, as unbelievable as it was, suggested that Asha, the girl who was terrified of the dark, had packed a bag and willingly walked out into that storm. And the question changed from, where is she, to the much, much harder question of why. The search for Asha was huge, but it turned up absolutely nothing. The case went cold really fast. And then, quite a bit later, a discovery was made that added this really strange, deeply unsettling layer to the whole mystery. For a year and a half, there was nothing. Total silence. Imagine being her family, just stuck in limbo. And then the case took a very strange turn. A construction worker digging about 26 miles away from Asha's home found her book bag. But it wasn't just lost in the woods. Someone had deliberately double-wrapped it in plastic trash bags and buried it, almost like they were trying to hide it, but also preserve what was inside. And what they found inside just created more questions. There was a Dr. Seuss book from her school library, a concert t-shirt for the band New Kids on the Block, and maybe the most chilling part, a photograph of another young girl that nobody recognized. And here's the absolute kicker. Her parents confirmed it. The t-shirt and the book were not hers. They'd never seen them before, and they had no idea who the little girl in the photo was. It was like these items were clues to a story that nobody else knew. For the next 2 decades, that's where the case stood. Completely cold. Until now. Because in 2024, investigators called a press conference that sent this absolute shockwave of new hope through this entire case. So this is the really critical part. The investigation has completely shifted. It's gone from just, looking back at old, confusing evidence to being a live, active case that is zeroed in on 2 incredibly specific new leads. Okay, so lead number 1. The FBI is now asking the public for help identifying a very specific car. We're talking about a dark green, 1970s-era Lincoln Continental. They believe this car was in the area where Asha was last seen that night, and they think finding the person who was driving it could be a major turning point. And lead number 2 brings us right back to that backpack. They've taken that mysterious photo of the unidentified girl, and they've enhanced it, making it much clearer. Investigators are now pleading with the public for help identifying her. They've made it clear she isn't in any trouble, but they strongly believe she holds the key to this entire case. So the big question now is, how do these brand new leads fit into the puzzle of what happened on that stormy night 24 years ago? The basic questions are still there, but now they have a laser focus. Was Asha lured out of her house to meet someone? Maybe someone driving that green car? Are those strange items in her backpack some kind of code or message? And the most urgent question of all, who is the girl in this picture? Is she a friend, a relative, or maybe even another victim? So when you lay it all out, the case really rests on four pillars. Asha's unbelievable disappearance, that bizarre buried backpack, the photo of the unknown girl, which is now critical, and this new vehicle of interest. Every piece feels connected, but we're still missing the links. The hope now from the FBI and local police is that after 24 years, someone's loyalties might have changed, or maybe their conscience is finally getting to them, and they're offering a pretty significant reward for any information that finally helps close this case. And at the end of the day, this is all about a family that has spent more than 2 decades just not knowing. Every press conference, every new lead, it's got to be both a painful reminder of what they lost and also this little flicker of hope that they might finally get the answers they've waited so long for. And that leaves us with the one question that investigators are desperately trying to answer right now. The solution to this whole thing might just rest with one person. Someone out there who knows the girl in that picture, recognizes that very distinctive green car, and can finally connect the dots across 24 years of this heartbreaking story.